It is now time to get to our Players of the Week announcement. I kind of mentioned it. It was a tough week when it comes to deciding on the Players of the Week this week, as it is always each week in the Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League. So we will get started with the SJHL Player of the Week. And we ended up deciding and going with Ryan Duguay of the Melfort Mustangs. His first 2 games as a Melfort Mustang, he had 2 goals and 3 assists. And as I was writing the article this morning, he was involved in every goal with the Melfort Mustangs this weekend, except for the empty netter Friday night against the Estevan Bruins. So very well deserved.
Yeah, well deserved. And, Trevor Blevins plays to win all the time. No, hey, Ryan, come in, no special teams for you. We'll just let you settle in, get a few practices, blah, blah, blah. No, it's straight onto the power play. It's straight into big minutes, it's straight into key situations. And, Duguay given that trust and rewards it right away with he was part of power play goals. All the goals in the second game were on the power play for Melfort, so they were 3 for 9 with a man advantage. Duguay was a part of a nice looking power play there for Melfort right away. Big strong guy, 6'2", protects the puck well. You saw him yourself in person, Jeromy, and didn't really work out this year for him in the Alberta Junior League in Drumheller,
right?
And working so far for him in Melfort, small sample size.
Yeah, very small sample size, but Jamie, or Rory rather, sorry, you can hop in here. What do you think, I guess, early on of Dugay's play for the Melfort Mustangs?
I just think sometimes people need a change of scenery, right? And maybe if it's not working with Drumheller, comes to Melfort, and it's just, it's a reset button, right? And Ryan Duguay, he's a welcome addition for the Melfort Mustangs, who only have 4 forwards above 5 points so far. So they're going to need more scoring. And this guy comes in, as you mentioned, he had a touch on every single goal they scored this weekend. So, I'm sure the fans are smiling up in Melfort, but sometimes you just need a change of pace sometimes. And I hope it works out really good. It looks like it is a great acquisition for Ryan Duguay.
Yeah, like you guys mentioned, an early sample size, but so far so good. And congratulations to Ryan for being named SGU Player of the Week. Now, moving on to SaskTel Goalie of the Week. And, there was a couple of goaltenders this week, guys, that, had shutouts. But one goaltender who definitely was, and I don't think it was close, the busiest goaltender was Cody Jamin of the Kindersley Clippers, who is SaskTel Goalie of the Week. A 2.5 goals against average, a .945 save percentage, but he faced 91 shots in 2 games, making 86 saves. Rory, you saw him on Friday. How good was he for the Kindersley Clippers?
Yeah, he was integral. Faced 44 of those 91 shots against the Humboldt Broncos, which is what you expect when you go up against the Broncos, right? They're the highest shooting team in the SJHL. But then he wasn't any lackluster of pucks coming towards him against the Yorkton Terriers the next day. Doesn't go with Logan Falk, sticks with Jamin in net back-to-back nights, and then faces, another 45 shots against the Yorkton Terriers. Cody Jamin was unbelievable against Humboldt, and then he's kept his team in it up until the third period against Yorkton, and then the offense took over the job, scored 4 more goals in the third, and 2 big wins for the Clippers. Jamin was a rock star in net for both games.
Yeah, and I think the other thing, too, is Jamin was also in net for that game against the Melfort Mustangs as well. And obviously for Ken Plaquin and company, you mentioned it, Rory, he went back to him on Saturday against Yorkton. I think it's just a case of you go with the hot hand that, helped win the game against Humboldt.
Yeah, I think we can surmise from the outside that Ken Plaquin wasn't thrilled with his goaltending situation early in the year.
Sure.
No offense to anybody, obviously, in particular, but he's turned it over completely, and kudos, because it seems like Jamin and Falk are a very nice 1-2 combo. You mentioned it, Melfort or Kindersley got that game, that huge win at home against the Melfort Mustangs, 7-4, and the Kindersley Clippers also ending October on their own long homestand.
Right.
So that is also a factor. They haven't played too many games at the West Central Events Center this year, so I think that's going to help anybody. But Cody Jamin also more goals this year than a lot of players in the SJHL, as does Caleb Allen of the Yorkton Terriers. So he's a goal scorer too, folks.
He is. Yeah, he's. You caught me off guard with that one, Jimmy. That's good. Yes, that's right. And it was that Melfort game that T got credited for that empty net goal. But a big congratulations to Cody Jamin. Definitely well deserving of SaskTel Goalie of the Week. All right, moving on to Direct West Rookie of the Week. It might have not been a good week for the Yorkton Terriers, losing all 3 games on the road, but Dylan Ruptash had a pretty solid week. He had 2 goals and an assist, and he is Direct West Rookie of the Week. And I think the biggest thing with Ruptash, too, is we touched on it earlier when we were talking about Yorkton, is, they're getting younger players to contribute offensively, and Ruptash is second in team scoring.
Yeah, he's been outstanding. The second he put on a Yorkton jersey in training camp, he was outstanding. In exhibition, he was outstanding. It took him a little while to find the back of the net in the regular season. It took him 5 games to score his first goal, but he's been, doing his thing since then. And I think he's realizing that, it's versus U18 in Alberta,
right,
you're going to have a lot less time and space to make a little fancy move, this and that. A lot of his goals are going to the right place. Someone makes a nice pass, don't waste any time, bear down, finish it hard. And that's what he's doing. He's very, very smart. Somebody with the Yorkton Terriers in the preseason I talked to compared his offensive instincts to Chance Petruik's, which is a huge thing to say.
It is, yeah.
And they don't throw that around in Yorkton too much. No. Obviously, there are lots of other elements to Chance Petruik's game, but, Ruptash, it certainly seems like, how did he end up there? And it's in the back of the net. And, got to be impressed by that type of offensive ability.
Rory?
Yeah, it's part of that, SSAC Athletics U18 program there in Alberta, but a good find for Matt Hare for sure. And as Jamie mentioned it earlier in the show, we were doing our recap, he's going to be leaned on a lot on the top line for the Yorkton Terriers. He's one of the young players that they're going to need to try to get offense out on a consistent basis to be successful. So good week for him. And one to keep an eye out for sure, 2004 birth year. So a couple of years left of eligibility here in the SJHL. And they're going to lean on him. They need him to produce for the Yorkton Terriers to be successful.
Yeah, he's already producing for them, and you can expect, for the rest of the year, he's going to be a big contributor for them down the stretch as they compete for a Viterra Division title. So congratulations to Dylan on being Direct West Rookie of the Week. And then finally, Defenseman of the Week. And once again, we had another good week of offensive production from defensemen this week. But we ended up going with Jordan Grill of the Battle for North Stars. 4 assists, including a 3-assist game against the Yorkton Terriers. I do believe it was on Thursday night in the 9-3 game. But, it's interesting, Rory. We talk about the Battle for North Stars. We talk about how, deep their lineup is from the net, from the blue line to the forward. It seems like we're talking about a different player each and every week when it comes to the Battle for North Stars and their amazing start to the season.
Great segue, Jeromy. That's why you're a pro, and that's exactly what I was going to talk about. It seems like I don't think we've had a week of Player of the Weeks where a Battle for North Star hasn't been on it.
I'll have to look, yeah.
You know what? That's to no one's fault but the Battle for North Stars because of how well they're playing. And you're right; it hasn't been the same player every week. We had Jake Southgate one week, Tynan Ewert, Josh Kotai, now Jordan Grill. They could just do it in any way. 13 wins, haven't lost in regulation, number 1 ranked team in the country. So yeah, I expect this trend to continue throughout the whole season with at least 1 out of the 4 being on the Battle for North Stars.
Yeah, hey, send a big time shout out to Wiley Riendo, the director of scouting out there in Battlefords. Yeah. There are other very good ones in this league, but there's nobody better, than Wiley up in Battlefords. And here's a stat for you. 4 D-men in the top 5 D-men in league scoring for Battleford. There's a big tie for third with 11 points. So that's a big list. It's not like Battlefords. But, there's 4 of them in that, big tie out there. So, the depth is huge as we talked about it. And last thing I'll say is Rory and I, we talk about it all the time. We love when the local boys are doing well. And Jordan Grill is a local boy up there to Battlefords, and they've done a great job bringing kids through that Battleford Stars program. And Braden Klamosko giving guys opportunity. So, he's loved Jordan Grill since he's been a Battleford North Star, has Braden Klamosko, and for good reason, he continues to prove it.
Well,
it puts butts in the seats too.
It does.
What it
You're
does,
right.
When you have that hometown boy, Jake Southgate, Jordan Grill on the lineup, it doesn't hurt that they're all stars in the league as well.
No.
But yeah, it's that's why you're seeing the attendance with Battlefords is right up there at the top of the league. Humboldt, you have Noah Barloggi and McLaren Paulson, their attendance right at the top of the league. So I love seeing the home cooking with these players that you can keep in your system, and then when they're ready, get them in and get them playing.
And I guess finally, just to build off Defenseman of the Week, I mean, you touched on it there just a little bit, Jamie, when it comes to defensemen scoring in the Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League. I know myself and Clark had talked about it a little bit on SJHL Insider last week, but the defenseman scoring is there's such a log jam, and I think it just speaks to the talent level of how many good defensemen we have in the Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League, because it seems like each and every week when you look at that top 10 scoring when it comes to defensemen in the SJHL, you're seeing different names in and out, and that's great for obviously the league, but also great for development of all the players and all the defensemen in the Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League.
Yeah, you nailed it on the head. I mean, the list of premium defensemen in this league is long. It's I think it's longer than in previous years. Even this year, it's really off the charts. And there's lots we could have even mentioned for defenseman of the week this week. I mean, it was just another insane weekend for Jared Sitch for the Notre Dame Hounds as well. Tynan Ewart even was great for Battlefords. Could have been him. Could have been down a big list. A guy like Tyson Perkins in Yorkton. He's not going to get big points, but he's on the ice all the time. He's so invaluable for that Yorkton Terriers team. So there's a lot of guys out there, and Jordan Grill's just another one.
For sure. Rory, do you want to add to that?
Yeah, you just love seeing the style of play that the coaches are bringing to the table, which allows these defensemen to not only protect their own zone, but they know when to jump in the rush. And you're just seeing so much offense from the blue line that it's always exciting to watch that style of play. And I love it. Whether it's Tynan Ewart, like Nugie mentioned, Alex Blanchard off of Estevan, Dalen Weigel off Humboldt, or whoever Melfort has, all of them can do it. So yeah. Well, no, I know. I didn't want to single out one because Melfort has a plethora of D-men that can jump into the rush and provide offense. But yeah, no, I just love it. It just makes it for entertaining hockey when you have that, that kind of hybrid player that can do that.
Yeah, it seems like every team in the SJHL almost has like one or two guys that love hopping in the rush and are producing points. But just to recap, players of the week. SGU player of the week is Ryan Duguay of the Melfort Mustangs with 2 goals and 3 assists. SaskTel goalie of the week is Cody Jamin of the Kindersley Clippers with 2.5 goals against average, a .945 save percentage. Direct West rookie of the week is Dylan Ruptash of the Yorkton Terriers with 2 goals and an assist. And defenseman of the week is Jordan Grill of the Battleford North Stars with 4 assists.